Welcome. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at this Firecore cross-line laser level. So this was provided to me by the distributor, but they're not compensating me for this video and they're not reviewing it before I post it. If you find this video helpful and you want to purchase one of these, I'll put a link to it in the description on Amazon, and if you use that link it helps me out a little bit and doesn't cost anything extra. So let's get this open. So it looks like it comes in a small case. Here we have the user manual. Let's take a quick look at it. So here's a product overview. We have a top button, laser window, power lock, quarter 20 mounting thread, and battery compartment. So I'm not going to cover everything in here. You'll want to read this on your own. So this talks about how to operate it. You can pause and read through that. So we're going to insert the batteries. It says press or slide the power switch to unlock position to turn the laser on. The laser tool projects one bright green cross line. Short press the top button to control the brightness of the laser line. Slide the power switch to lock position to turn the tool off. Always turn it off before installing or replacing the batteries, and remove the batteries when you're not going to use it for a while. So it has self-leveling mode, so that's enabled when you switch it to the unlocked position. It says under self-leveling mode, the laser beams will blink fast if the tool is beyond the self-leveling range. So for this to work in self-leveling mode, you want it to be within 4 degrees of level. Then there's manual mode. This is enabled when the pendulum lock is in the lock position and you long press the top button. So this is if you would want an angled line. So maybe you're putting pictures on a wall at an angle in a downward slope. You can lock it in and then you can have that straight line at any angle you want. Then we have the brightness adjustment. You press the top button to switch the brightness, and it has extra high, high, medium, and low. This talks about care and maintenance, troubleshooting, and here are the specs. So operating time is about 8 to 10 hours on 2 AA batteries. And here's more specs here. Then it talks about the warranty. So let's get this open. So this is a semi-hard case here. Here we have the laser level. Here's where the batteries go. So I'll put those in. So it says plus and minus here on the edges. Okay, and there you can see the quarter 20 thread, so this can be mounted to a tripod. So to turn it on, we'll switch it to unlock. And here we can see the laser is flashing. So I'll let go, and now it's self-leveling. So I can turn this off. I can also hold down this button, and this will turn the laser on. And this is the locked mode. So now I can rotate this and move it around. And I am going to show this on the wall. I'm just showing the features here on my bench. But if I go here, you can see I can move this around. Whereas in the unlocked mode, this tries to self-level. So I can also press this button to change the brightness. So we have extra high, high, medium, and low. Now to turn it off in the self-leveling mode, I'll just switch it over. If I'm on the locked mode, I'll just hold this down to shut it off. So I'm going to get a tripod to mount this on. So I'll just put the mounting plate on here, and the tripod is not included with this model, but you can use pretty much any video camera tripod that has a quarter 20 thread. So I have the mounting plate on, I'll lock that in, and now I'm going to point it towards the wall. Now a lot of tripods will have a little bubble level on them. This does, but this head can go any direction. I'm going to try and get as close as I can to level, and then I'll turn it on. So let's point the camera at the wall now. I'll turn the laser level on. And you see it's bouncing around a little bit. And now it's settled. And now we have our level line. So I must have gotten that within 4 degrees of level. Let me move this around. So now it's not within 4 degrees, so you can see it's flashing. So I'm going to tilt it up a little bit. And it stopped flashing. It's bouncing around. And now we're level. So let me rotate this. So I'll put it side to side. So I'm rotating this using my tripod. So if I wanted to, say, plumb a door, if you have it on a tripod, you can rotate it left and right until that laser is right on the edge of the door. And then we can lock that down. You can also just move the tripod. So this is the brightest mode. So this is extra high. If I press the button, we're just high brightness. And now you notice when I touch it, it can jiggle it. So it's something to keep in mind. But typically you would not want to touch this once you have it set up. Press it again, this is medium and low. So I'm guessing on the lower ones the batteries will last a little bit longer than on high. So let's turn it back to high. Let me turn the lights out so you can see what it looks like in the dark. Although this is very visible with the bright lights in my shop. So here we have it with the lights off. There's a little light coming in from behind. That was extra high. This is high, medium, and low. So in the dark on low, it's very, very bright even. But with the lights on, I was able to see it even on the low setting. Now this is mostly for indoor use. If you were to take this outside, the sun might wash out the laser. So you can see this with the light on. And I will say, I have overhead lights here and I have my camera light shining at the wall. So it is very bright, and even on the low mode you can see it. But if we turn it to that high mode, it's even more visible. Now let's try the locked mode. So I'll switch this over. I'll hold down the button to turn it on. We'll loosen the adjustment on my tripod. And here we have an angle, like so. So in the unlocked mode, it's more of a laser level. In the locked mode, it's more of a laser guide. So you could use something like this in place of a chalk line. Of course, if I unlock it now, we have the flashing. Let me go pull this back so we can see what it looks like at a distance, because right now we're about 4 foot from the wall. Okay, so now we're around 12 foot away, and this is on the high mode. Let me turn it to the lowest mode. So there we are in the lowest mode. So the intersection of the laser lines is right about there. And that's pretty visible in person. If I was working on a project, I think I could use that, especially if I were to turn my camera light off. You can see that's quite a bit more visible, but I was shining light right at that. But generally speaking, this room is quite a bit brighter than most rooms are. So that was the Firecore cross-line laser level. I found this super easy to use. You just put the batteries in, you flip this, and it automatically levels itself. Now you can just set this on a surface and point it at a wall, but I do like to put it on a tripod. I do feel like it's more versatile that way. If you're doing something like installing cabinets and you have it on a tripod, you can crank the tripod up and down very precisely to get the laser line right at the bottom of where you want your cabinets to be. You don't have to be a kitchen remodeler to take advantage of a laser like this. A laser like this can also take the guesswork out of doing something like hanging up pictures. Anytime you have more than one picture on a wall that you want to be aligned at the top, you could set up a laser level and then mark the location of your hangers, and you can get them all just perfectly even. Doing that with the traditional bubble level can be very difficult, especially if you're going, say, 12 feet and your bubble level is only 2 to 4 feet. This can easily span the whole wall. And then this had the locked mode also, so if you're doing angled things, maybe putting a rail on a stairway, you can lock this and line the level up with where you're going to mount your stair rail brackets. So that's all I'm going to cover in this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you like this video, please click like. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate if you could do that. And thanks for watching. Until next time, goodbye.